Hello, what's up, everybody? It's Mona D Ascended, and I am here with the 1010 portal messages. I hope this message finds you well if you're listening. Happy October 10th, 2024. Um, I did want to go ahead and say off the bat that the 1010 portal lines up with the dates October 10th, October 19th, and October 28th. So it's like 3 rounds of this portal energy, and I just pulled these cards and felt the need to just hop in and get it going about what needs to be known, what can be known, what to stay aware of, what has been accomplished, what can be accomplished. All right, so the first card I pulled from the Herbal Astrology Oracle deck is Nettle. It is numbered 21. It's associated with the planets Mars and Pluto, and the key word on the card is action. Very fitting for Mars, right? With that, I immediately got the vibes of like, let's get to it, because that's how I felt just hopping on here. Because usually, I try to wait for the most perfect time and all this other stuff, but I'm not even on that. That's how the energy for the 1010 portal feels like. Just hop to it, get started, get it going. Very Libran energy, the initiator. But all right. Mars is currently in Cancer, and Pluto is stationed or stationing direct in Capricorn. So, first of all, those are sister signs. So, there's a pole. A really good friend of mine just posted a blog about poles. So, you should go check that out. I'll leave links to it in the description box. But yes, nettle, action, getting straight to it, initiation of action, initiation of things. Mars is currently in a cardinal sign, Cancer. Mars is supposedly not comfortable in Cancer. I'm not sure it's the detriment, it might be. But Mars is in Cancer, which is opposite of Capricorn. Pluto's in stationing direct in Capricorn for the last time in our lifetime. Unless we live to be 200, you never know. But immediately the pole is standing out to me. And we are in the month, we are weeks away from the United States of America's presidential election. Okay, so that pole, if you go back to, I don't know what video that I made, it might have been the full moon in Capricorn video on my Instagram, or it could have been my 9/9 portal video on my YouTube channel. I'm not exactly sure, but I was speaking of how the Project 2025 is going to manipulate the energies of family dysfunction. So, Cancer, Mars in Cancer. Cancer is of the moon and is associated with nurturing women, cycles, intuition, the feminine in general. And then Capricorn is associated with, the masculine aspect of parenting, the structure and all that. So, with that being said, that's going to be major. And it flows right well with the next card that I pulled from the Elemental Empath deck. It is called Inner Darkness. The number is 5. It is of the air element, so the mentality, communications, and things like that. The keywords on this card are hold safe space, knowing patterns, release versus feed. Awesome, because this is very important now and moving forward, especially as we get closer and closer to the actual election. Okay. It's time to take action on the inner darkness within, because if not, it is going to be used against you and your family and anybody you care about until it is resolved. And that's not to scare anyone, because it's going to show up in all types of ways. And for most people, I'm sure it would just be an internal thing, and the external will just reflect back to them what's needed. I'm back. I had to take a quick break to get my daughter situated, but I don't know exactly where I left off. I just know that I had read Hold Safe Space, Knowing Patterns, Release versus Feed. I'm just gonna start with, yes, the inner darkness within the mentality. So really, really honing in on the way your mind is receiving and processing information. Okay, you need to accept the fact that everything is connected. So even if you are on the other end of a situation, discussion, anything with the quote unquote other, someone on the opposite end of you, you have to recognize that is a pole, that is a spectrum, whatever you want to call it. So, with that understanding, you have to be able to sit in the darkness that does show up, because the only way to get that information from the other side is to connect. And we have so much history of where civilizations and all that, people really couldn't just sit down and do that. So we're at the dawn of a new age. So with that being said, before it solidifies, of course, there's going to be forces from both ends not connecting to their opposite end, to their complementary end. So they're just doing a whole lot of nothing, because it's all going to self-destruct. Because why? It is not connected to anything other than its own desire to exist. Okay. And I think it's really imperative, like these keywords on this card: hold safe space, knowing patterns, release versus feed. I think those are so awesome, because everybody is in different, consciousness levels and awarenesses. So for those of us that have a better grip with this, it is imperative that we hold the safe mental space for others to be the ones to basically mediate, shine light, share different perspectives, without, just basically being the unbiased observer, unbiased respondent, things like that. And then knowing patterns for people that are awake and, honing in on this skill of being able to sit in the darkness. Knowing patterns. The patterns, especially when it comes to the government. Okay. A whole lot is going on. Focus on what matters. Focus on staying connected to what matters. Okay? And then release versus feed. When you start to recognize divisive, egoic, self-serving darkness in your mentality or in your communications, you have to stop and first acknowledge that you just participated in divisive thinking or communication, and then release it. And from that moment forward, choose to connect to the other side and get a more wholesome answer. This is the fundamentality of Libran energy. Okay. Taking both sides and making sure that they stay evened out. One side isn't heavier than the other. Okay. More messages coming through. So yes, it's just very important to make sure that you are maintaining yourself, especially mentally. Make sure you're around people you can trust. Make sure you have some type of outlet, whether it's journaling or you have a channel or you sing or you dance, whatever. Make sure you're indulging in those things instead of indulging in the divisive actionings, because it's all political. Okay. It's a time to be very, very firm, very, very steadfast in what is true. The solar plexus chakra is definitely being worked on through throughout these portals, throughout the 1010 portal. You can reach out to the Arcturians. The Arcturians are a star race from Arcturus. You can definitely more and more information about star races is out there, so you can definitely look into Arcturian energy, Arcturian star seeds, and definitely tap in with them. They have obviously otherworldly healing abilities, very otherworldly ways of increasing the vitality of our bodies. So definitely reach out to them. Also wanted to say that although in the midst of all this, those that choose to stay grounded in the truth and choose to express themselves in ways that don't feed into divisive ways of being, I feel like a lot of us / you all out there are going to be linking up with your soul group, your soul tribe. Through these times, the truth will be revealed of who needs to link, who needs to separate, and all these things. Again, the 1010 portal, this is feeling really, really like it's go time, because in my other videos, like I'm just noticing the continuance of the patterns, and now it's time to take action on what's known and what's deeply felt from the inside out. Just had to get a deep breath, because the energy definitely is not anxious. It's just passionate and direct, and just hammer and nail. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for listening. It's a beautiful time to be alive, regardless of what it may look like or sound like right now, wherever you are in the world. You are loved and cared for, and you are not alone in your humanity. Thank you guys. I'm out.